Man, what an impressive performance. Might be the most impressive performance as a team that we've had since I've been here. We got a heck of a football team. I love watching them. I love watching them play.
Todd Graham obviously pleased, and how can't he be? The Sun Devils win 53-24 over Washington here at Sun Devil Stadium. Eric Sorensen, Sports360AZ.com. I'm joined by Chris Cartman, ASUDevils.com. And Chris, we got to start. The ASU defensive line tonight was absolutely dominant. Gannon, Conway, the gang, how did they get it done?
I was very surprised by it. All season we've been waiting for this type of an explosion from the ASU defensive line after what they did last season with the double-digit sacks by Will Sutton and Carl Bradford, 20-plus tackles for loss by both of them. It really hadn't materialized, and Washington's done a really good job protecting its quarterback to this point in the season. It was like third or fourth best in the Pac-12 in sacks allowed, and ASU just came out and dominated really from the second possession on. I would say 12 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. Every defensive line starter had 2 or more tackles for loss. You mentioned Gannon Conway had a couple, probably his best performance according to Todd Graham, a couple tackles for loss, 1 sack. In one-on-one matchups, they basically dominated throughout the night, and it looked more reminiscent of ASU's defensive line last year than the team we saw through the first 6 games. And that really was the key stat on the evening.
Speaking of dominant, big kudos to the ASU offensive line. The run game churned over and over tonight against the Huskies. Marion Grice unstoppable. Great scheme, or was it just completely domination up front?
This was the night that they were waiting for. Grice, as you know, has had a lot of touchdowns, but a low yard per carry average, 4.4 on the season compared to last year where he was over 6 yards a carry, and they just came out tonight and crushed it. Washington again had no answer, and they've done a pretty good job against the run. They have a multiple type defense. Justin Wilcox is a really good defensive coordinator with the schemes, and no matter what they did, Marion Grice was able to get yards, just made some guys really look foolish in space tonight, scored, just did everything that you would possibly want. Taylor Kelly looked really good, scrambling and zone read for some big plays. And I just don't think that there was any way, given that coupled with the ASU D line, that this wasn't going to be a blowout.
So let's reset things. ASU improves to 5-2, 3-1 in the Pac-12. Entering the bye week, how do you see the rest of the schedule playing out?
Well, they needed this win. Todd Graham says minimum we have to do is go undefeated at home to be Pac-12 South champions. Trying to hang with UCLA. UCLA loses to Stanford. They have a tough schedule going forward. Now ASU has to go on the road, play Washington State after a bye week, and then at Utah. Utah's obviously doing pretty good. Played some teams really tough, beat Stanford. So, now they're going to probably have to try to win these 2 games on the road to try to stay where they want to be, to give themselves a shot at controlling their own destiny, which is really what Graham has been talking about quite a bit.
Tonight, they'll celebrate a 53-24 win over Washington here at Sun Devil Stadium.